guys, so today I'm gonna go over how you would cut a 350Z quarter panel if you were wanting to do something like a competition drift car. A lot of guys will take off all the steel on the tail pan and everything on the back of the car and have, you know, carbon fiber or fiberglass over fenders. And then just the bash bars back there, so that if they do get into the wall a little bit, the car doesn't want to straighten up and put them into the wall, so to speak. So if you watch a lot of like Formula Drift, and you'll notice those guys, and especially at Long Beach, where they have the two outside zones down the little, I don't know what the first straight there, I guess you would call it. A lot of guys pretty much smash everything in right here behind the wheel, and their tire is almost dragging on the concrete, and it bounces back out after, you know. So this is going to give you a pretty much general idea of how you would do this obviously on a 350Z, but this can be, you know, relatable to other chassis, you know, 240 quarter panels, G35 quarter panels, whatever. So we'll get started with measuring out where we're going to cut. And I like to leave 1.5 inches, which gives them plenty of room to install the Overfender afterwards. So right here you can see I got a couple lines already drawn out, so I'll finish up measuring these out real quick. Okay, so specifically on 350Zs, I like to, or excuse me, I will be leaving this portion up here. Some people cut it further back all the way to the strut towers, and that's fine, but that requires more fabrication when you want to mount your taillights. So this will leave me to the mounting locations for your taillights, and you can see over there, still have one taillight mounted on for a little mock-up purposes. So now that I have these holes here, I'll start my cut here, and then I'll run it along the side here, and all I need to do this is this. Sawzall with the torch blades. These things cut through this sheet metal like butter. So the other one didn't take me very long. So first things first, eye and ear protection, very important. All right. Alright, so there you have it. Cut quarter panel, ready for reinstalling Overfenders. This, on top of saving quite a bit of weight, also, like I said, has crash bonuses. Dogs. Rocco, hey! Oh! Anyways, so next step for me is going to be installing the Overfenders, mounting up the tail lights, and then making support brackets for the bumper, which I've kind of already started doing. You can see, so I've got here this little piece of bar I bent up, and it's basically going to, I'll show you how this will work. See my little bolts right there. It's more or less going to mount onto those, hold the end of the bumper up over here, and I'll do a couple more little things from here onto the bumper. hold it up, should be good to go. So let's get cracking on that. Okay, so got the overs installed. Remember, this is a drift car, so obviously there would be some exceptions to be made with fitment of certain things, but now we get a little friendly with the wall. It's just this, and the tail light, which will snap off. So, reason being, for example, so say you're on a bank, right? Drifting the bank, and your back end hits the wall, right? It's going to want to bring the front end into the wall, which is why you see the drifters when they hit the wall crash, front end spin out, right? Happened to Matt Field at Long Beach. Granted, he kind of got bumped and that sent him into the wall, but when you saw the rear end hit and the front hit and spin, you know, that's kind of more what I'm getting at, not necessarily how he crashed, but this will allow a lot more room for error than the previous full metal tail pan here. So eventually what I want to do is hack off these bumper mounts and install bash bars that are like kind of like a C shape, because supposedly that design can slightly compress, whereas this is just frame rail. It is thin here, so that should collapse in the event of a wreck. It should just bend right there, which is great, because then I can just chop it off and weld the plate on and then good to go again. So anyways, now we're going to test fit the bumper, and that's going to be a little tricky. All right, more or less, this is what it's going to be here. Bumper's mounted. A lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Actually, I just used some angle steel. Angle steel, self-tappers. Mounted right up. I got my bumper support bracket made for this side. I still have to make the other side, but it's starting to get dark. Mosquitoes coming out. I don't feel like being dinner. But see my little support bracket here, and it's pretty sturdy. So this came out pretty good, all things considered. Drift car, as far as I'm concerned, you know, that looks pretty good. As you can see, literally nothing holding any of this up. So, and it's fairly sturdy. So, we'll drop the hatch right now and see how that lines up. Not that I really care, I'm just kind of curious. decent. That was the car again. So, cool. That big project is done.